and welcome. And thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Lemont Baker, AKA Big Baker,
Big Baker.
from that land, Ida Wells, the host of Dream Cultivation, the new monthly TV show for young people, young activists, scholars, grandmas, grandpa, and those that get down with young people.
Right.
My guest today, I'm honored because he's my first guest, and it would be fitting to have him on the show. Why Blak Moore?
Peace.
This brother here, he's going to share a little of his story. He's the CEO of the apparel
Elemental apparel
company,
Right.
an author,
Publisher,
a publisher,
instructor, creative writing.
all that,
Right.
and some. And
Yeah.
low key, he's are you still doing poetry, man?
I still write it. I don't really perform as much as I'll read somewhere. It's a difference between reading and performing. You'll catch me maybe reading a piece somewhere if one of my friends got a set. But
Well, he is connected to the people, connected to the youth, and we're going to let him share his story.
okay.
Hey, man, welcome, man.
I appreciate you having me, Big Baker.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry, yeah, Dr. Baker. they be forgetting to leave his DR. This is Dr. Baker. You know what I'm saying? A real 39th Street, Ida B. Wells legend, putting his real work on both sides of the coin. So we're not gonna act like we're not gonna act like we sit here. We got some angels, but they got some little dirty wings too.
Hey, we'll keep it 100.
Right.
We keep it real, raw, and relevant.
Right.
And so I wanted to bring you on, beloved, to share about your story, but more importantly, about what you're doing now.
Okay. Well, first of all, I got to express my gratitude for you even thinking about me when it came to something like this, to bring me on, for me to be the inaugural guest, the first guest for this for you rebooting everything. That's really dope, and I really appreciate it.
Right on.
Currently, the main things I'm really working more with the writing and the educational side of things. With the educational side, that's my favorite part of dealing with youth now. Now, if people know my background, for over 20 years, I've been kind of doing the social activist, working with youth, running after-school programs, teaching programs or whatever. But what I've come to find out in recent years was there's enough people kind of doing one thing. We got to have a multi-pronged attack.
Nice, that's
You
right.
know, it's like if you're trying to pick up something with a knife, it don't really work, but you can pick up something with a fork with different prongs to it. So I'm trying to approach the youth more from the educational side of it. And I know sometimes that runs people away, but that's a myth, because our children are sponges. They are waiting to learn. They love to learn. It's just a lot of times the things that's put in front of them, they end up learning, or they're misinformed. So what I do, one of my main things we deal with is called the Youth Urban Reading and Writing Initiative, or URI. It's a nonprofit. Thanks to anybody that has donated or helped us, because we stand on the shoulders of giants. We do not do this by ourselves. Me and my partner, my wife, Jamie Rue, we don't do this by ourselves. we stand on the shoulders of giants. People help us all the time, and one of the things we do is we get books to, we donate books to incarcerated youth, and we also have reading. We also have reading and writing curriculums, creative writing curriculums,
Nice.
creative thinking curriculum. We have young adult books. The young adult books approach.
What's the name of it, man?
Well, these are two of them. One is called The Live and Die in Chirac, and the other one is called Ain't No Love, A Heartless Chronicle. What these books, how we're approaching the youth with them is we try to make sure they can see themselves. See, right now, when it comes to education, a lot of times when you pick up a book, I remember being in school, as I'm an avid reader. I grew up reading. I was a gifted kid making doubles in 6th grade with 12th grade Iowa scores and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I read, but what didn't impress me was, as much as I loved to read, I never saw myself in what I was reading.
Talk about it.
It wasn't until I started picking up things like Donald Goines or some Robert Beck or some Iceberg Slim or something.
Now, to the young people, who are some of those brothers? Because they don't know, man.
Well, Donald over a lot of, Donald been dead for some years, rest in peace, but he was one of the first cats who really made writing about us. And by us, I mean black people, poor people. It was funny because one of the first books I ever read by him I don't know if I was even a teenager yet, but when I was reading it, the name of the book was Dope Fiend, and I could see people that I knew dope fiends. I had aunties, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had family members that were going through this stuff, so it was the first time I ever seen that somebody could tell a story and represent us. So what we're trying to do with the youth is make them see themselves and things they read. But it's also not just reading for reading's sake too, because we're also training. Your brain is a muscle. We're training a muscle.
So what do you mean by for reading and reading's sake?
Well, reading, sometimes you can just pick up something because you just feel like using your, you feel like letting some words run across the screen in your mind.
Right.
But what are you getting from it? And say and then the thing is, they've been we living in a microwave society right now. So a lot of things they learn it in a couple of seconds worth of watching a TikTok video or a reel somewhere, right? And so it's beginning to shorten their already shortened attention spans. So what we're trying to do with the programs is get back to where they're literate. And then we also work with media literacy. That's one of the big things. With my wife is going to be a doctor, so she's going to have her PhD soon in education. Nice. But one of the things we're trying to do is expand media literacy, where the youth are picking up things or seeing videos or reading things, and they're beginning to get the real stuff out of it. It's like opening up a shell and finding a valuable gem there, But if you just look at the shell, you're going, that's not the valuable thing. The valuable thing is inside, but you got to teach them how to get to that. So like I said, even with the books that we're doing now, with the young adults or the teen, we use these, we donate these books to schools. They're being taught in several high schools. They're being used in adult literacy programs. We send it to little cats that are being detained, And one of the things they use in the programs is at the end of the books, we have questions that deal with each chapter, but it doesn't just it deals with the emotions behind the chapter. It deals with what the character was going through, because a lot of this stuff these little dudes are going through.
What they going through? Talk to them now.
Well, actually, like I said, from working with the youth and from talking and building with them, you will find immediately that a lot of them are dealing with pain and they don't know what to do with the pain, but try to return it and give it to somebody else. So, and let's put them in a situation where they just lost a friend. The only thing they know how to do is retaliate. They hopefully, all the stuff that I'm feeling right now, maybe I'll make somebody else feel it. And that's a true thing.
Right.
And it's continuing this cycle of violence that we visited upon our race that will not cease. It will not cease because there's no guidance there. So one thing about it is, it's like even me, I ran around in certain environments. My name was...
Talk about it, man. Talk about it here.
Certain environments. And one of the things that helped me even to begin to achieve elevation was reading.
So let me pause here. You were a former gang banger, right?
Yeah, I was a member of a street organization.
He was a member of a street organization.
Yes.
And he catapults to what we're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
those pains and those trauma experiences,
Right.
you'll be able to put it
I
in the
fully
book.
understand. Well, I gotta say, because I've been in situations where I walk in front of groups, and I've been with other people who had they're learned men or they come from universities or whatever.
Yeah.
And the kids boo them, but they want to talk to me.
Right.
And I learned because
Talk to me.
you talking to a lot of young wolves, and young wolves know the difference between gyro and a wolf. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's not to say that I'm this. It's just I understand the language, and it's just something you can't even hide when you walk in a certain place.
You can't go to school for it.
It's got to be in you, you know.
That
But I
part.
mean, it's born of pain. It's born of going through suffering because I grew up in certain environments. So and so one thing about it was we didn't have a lot of answers. So a lot of the stuff that we did, and I'm thankful that I'm even here today to be sitting here talking. A lot of stuff that we did, we see years later, decades later, that it wasn't the way.
Right.
And we can't even admit that. We can't keep it a buck, as you say. You know,
right.
we gotta still act like it was. No, man, that wasn't cool. And we need to find other alternatives.
Right.
And the difference was, in our culture, when we were coming up in our day and time, everybody didn't go to the streets. Cats there was some cats that were kind of designated for the streets.
Yeah,
There was
yes,
some cats
sir.
that gravitated to the streets, but there was a lot of cats that went to play ball. They went to school. They went to become firemen. They went to
The military.
Now you got this whole, because they got this constant stream of it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. So a lot of cats is really just diving off into the streets that's not even built for it and don't even have the same type of understanding of it.
But I contend also that every young person ain't going that way. There's a demographic that goes that way, right? So you are doing some things to guide them.
Right. See, I'm not talking to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to everyone. When I step in a room, I'm not talking to everybody. When
Okay.
if I got 30 kids, I tell them in a heartbeat. If it's 30 of y'all sitting here, I'm not talking to all of y'all.
That's right.
So if you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. If you want to get up and leave, go leave. Just don't interrupt what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if it's 4 or 5 people, and I'm guaranteeing you, by the time it's over with, it's out of 30 kids, you got maybe 7 or 8 people. But that's enough. That's really enough. That's who you were there to reach, who you were there to reach. Now, I'm not saying every kid goes toward the streets. I'm saying a lot of kids don't have the information. So let's say out of 100 kids, if 33 went to the streets, it probably out that 33 was only 13 that was really headed for the streets.
That's right.
It was 20 more following them.
Say it, Blak.
And they were misinformed.
Misinformed.
So and that's what I try and do with the writing. That's what I try and do with, like, to live and die and say this book. This was born of the fact that, both of them really, especially this, when Spike Lee came and they did the Chirac movie, and
That part.
we were sitting here hoping that this is going to offer our children some type of relief or some type of understanding. This is a huge time. You can use this as an advantage to help stem some of the stuff that's going on. And they came out with this thing that it was like, what? No. So I said, well, let me write something that
Nice.
that approaches. So but you still want to make it fun. You still want to make it where they sitting there going, wow, I love, they want to turn the pages.
If you don't mind, brother, can you read something in there, man?
I ain't reading like
I'm
not good at reading aloud. I'm not
Okay.
good. I can read a page, but see, if I knew that, I would know what to read. I don't know what to read out the whole page.
What-
I'm gonna pick a. Here we go.
Here we go.
Chapter 8. Nashawn and Jayshawn walked up the block to the 3-flat building a few streets from where they lived. There they repeatedly rang one of the apartment doorbells. The building intercom sparked to life. Who is it? And please explain to me why you was laying on my bed like you live here. Jayshawn leaned forward and spoke into the intercom. It's the twins, big bro. We came to kick it with you. We know you got that band on y'all leg. What y'all got, the voice asked. We got some loud and some Zans, bro, Nashawn said. Quit playing. Bust the door down, man. Quit playing. It's hot out here. Well, come on up. That's all you had to say in the first place, the voice said as the door buzzer sounded simultaneously. The twins pushed the heavy outer door open and entered the hallway. They took the stairs 2 at a time to the second floor. On the second floor landing, they took turns tapping and knocking on the apartment door. The door opened and their friend Treadwell was standing there wearing basketball, shorts, a tank top, a house arrest monitoring bracelet, and house shoes. His full beard and his wise eyes made him seem like he was much older than 25. All right, that's all I'm gonna read.
Hey, man, you had me memorized.
Right.
You did? I mean, that's something that's real.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to write, and then this the thing, rest, you know, I got a lot of little homies, a lot of young guys that show me mad love. I show them love. You know what I'm saying? I never play them off. I never try and big chest with them or nothing. I talk to them like what they are, young men that's trying to find their way.
Respect.
Yeah, some of them greasy as a chicken wing, but you know what I'm saying? They still,
yes,
somebody
sir.
got to show them some love, though.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
And so I'm looking at their lives, and I get the respect from them. I get the love from them. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, but they also keep me where I can walk in their shoes. When they stand up and talk to me, they keep me fresh and young. They make me laugh. They come get their hugs from me. Like I got a lot of young homies and I love them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to say no Diddy and none of that other stuff, because when I approach it as a man. So I approach it as a man talking to another young man, and we have to make sure we can show them love.
That's
you know,
right.
So that's where they get because they don't often get enough love. So
You know, it's funny you said that. When I was doing my doctoral studies, and I did it at a charter school,
okay.
Chatham Charter School. And one of the things that I discovered, and the quote academic people were surprised. One of the things was, I said, the young people, one of the findings was love.
Yeah, they need it.
It was love.
They need it. I call a lot of the young guys, well, I call most people God, because God is in most of us, that spark, that life that keeps us,
Right.
Makes us grow. You know, being gifted, being original, being dope. That's what makes you God. So
Right.
when I call a young cats God, I had cats, young guys pull me to the side like, man, I love when you call me God. You know?
Right.
It make me feel like I can be better, but it's supposed to.
Right.
They've heard a lot of derogatory language. They heard people put them down and talk bad to them, and you ain't gonna be this, and your daddy wasn't nothing, and you ain't gonna be nothing, and all you out here doing is gangbanging. But you gotta realize, even somebody as momentum changing as Malcolm X was once a pimp.
Right.
He was once
Fact.
a heroin addict. You know
Fact,
what I'm saying?
brother.
Detroit Red, one of
Right.
my icons, ran these streets. He was carrying, what was once a point, he was carrying 3 guns, and he turned around and became the leader of he gave us an alternative to Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying, for the people that had a more militant mindset.
So, you're doing your writing.
Yeah.
You got your perils.
I really kind of slowed, that's the misconception. I really slowed down a lot on the, I don't. It's not a toot of my own horn, but I'm one of the people that started kind of the T-shirt movements in the streets, and we talking 20 years plus. So I ain't just making this up.
Nice.
I'm not saying I'm the only, but there are people that would attest. Man, it's people that do their thing on a test. If it wasn't for Big Bro, you know what I'm saying, doing him, I used to love wearing your shirt, so I do whatever. But I really slowed down on it because it just, over the years, you just kind of sometimes change your model. You know, it just other things that you want to do, and that's no disrespect to what sometimes you walk the path, and that's the path you've done. You walk that, and you kind of look back and go, I don't want to go back that way. So some stuff is moving backwards, but really to keep the elemental brand alive. Right now, I mainly focus on decorating denim, and I do some custom work with T-shirts, but I don't really.
This your piece here?
Yeah, this is for our non-for-profit for Uri. So I still, when I was doing that, but a lot of people don't even understand the origins of Elemental. The origins of Elemental was really, it wasn't even about the apparel, though I love all my people, because first of all, it started in Ida B. Wells in the extensions, and my people from 39th, from the low
and
end,
you
from
see
Ida
this
B.
here,
Wells,
don't you?
from the extensions, they took it and turned me into a thing, a household name, you know what I'm saying, on the low end for sure.
Right.
And I appreciate everybody who had love for me. And one thing you'll know about you'll learn about me is I don't ever waste my time concerning myself with a hater. I concern myself with the people who got love for me. You wasting your time if you concern yourself with a hater, you wasting time. You wasting valuable time. So I concern myself with the people who love me, and there's plenty of people who show me nothing but love. They took my brand and they'll be ready to fight somewhere. But you don't know nothing about this and all that. But I kind of did what I was going to do with. Sometimes you kind of do. It's like it reminded me of being in the hallway back in the days.
Right.
Sometimes you just, you got to get out the hallway at some point. It ain't no disrespect to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I still sometimes stuff don't feel as dope as when you used to do it. Okay. It feel more dope when I finish somebody's jacket, like I decorate these denim jackets, but it feels more dope when somebody pick up their jacket and go, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? You got me, I'm wearing this everywhere. And they call you, man, I had your jacket on, and they was going crazy. I love that. And I do love the t-shirts thing. Like I said, it was mainly at the time, it started off just to get my poetry out there. And a lot of people don't know that. Okay. It was about, because somebody once told me I used to write poetry, but I'm standing up in, you know what I'm saying, all these people know me kind of from the wells and from the streets. They don't know me for writing. So it was like how they would buy my poetry books. I started doing some poetry books we talking the 90s.
Right.
And they would just look at me like, okay, just give me the book. You know what I'm saying? Just give me the book. How much is it? All right, don't worry about it. But so I was like, okay, that's cool, but I want them to read it. How can I get them to read it? And it just came to me one day like, put it on a shirt. And so first I tried to just put poetry on the front of the shirt, and it didn't look good. So I said, what was something? Because we like dressing, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my people that dress. And, we was innovators down there in the low end with dressing.
And still are.
What would look fly? And I said, man, I'm gonna put some kind of picture on the front. And it started out stuff, simple peace signs. It might have been somebody that was lynched. It was I did about a good maybe 40, maybe 50 shirts somewhere up in there. Believe it or not, it was a lot of them. And like I said, I stood on the shoulders of giants, so many people picked me up and ran with it. They would call, man, I need a shirt, I want a shirt. My people out town, ship me a shirt.
So how can people stay in tune with your movement and learning about your books and everything?
The easiest way, number one, for my books, you can go to Blak Moore, www.yblakmoore.com for my books. For Yuri, like I said, we definitely always donating there. People that tell you we send books to, especially young adults. We send books to young detainees, whether they might be in the justice system, juvenile justice, up to, sometimes we might go up to 25, 26, 27, because people need something to read, period. We also donate books to adult literacy programs, especially when we have stock-ins. We also donate to alternative high schools, and we've been trying. Like I got stuff coming up with for the first time I'm gonna be at Doolittle. Like my children went there.
I went to Doolittle. Yeah,
I'm from the low end. It was been so hard, but through a friend of mine, Ian Williams, I get to be in the career fair coming up this month.
Okay.
I'm also trying to talk to any educators I know because, like I said, when we've got the funds. We do this out of our pockets, but we also do this out of people that help us. People donate. Like we try to have events. Like for my birthday that just passed, we had a movie day we rented out for a city movie theater, and people donated and came out and bought tickets, and like we turned around. Like I think the next day or two, we ended up donating books to Excel Academy out here in the hundreds. But we try and spread them around as much as we can and
spread the love.
Yeah.
Well, listen here, brother. We got to get you back on. We talking to
Blak Moore.
Blak Moore.
Blak Moore.
You dig? And so
Black.
This is your host, Dr. Lemont Baker. You can, if you got any comments, any suggestions, or if you just want advice, you can email me at dreamcultivation39@gmail.com. That's dreamcultivation39 at gmail.com. Well, I thank you, beloved.
I thank you for having me once again. This is a legend, Dr. Baker. He's overcoming. So I don't want to embarrass him, but I'm gonna tell y'all, we sit and cry. He inspired a quote that came from me one day. We sit and cry about things and swear that we're going through something so bad, and you'll talk to your friend, they've been going through something 10 times worse than what you're going through, and they haven't said a word. And he's one of those type of guys. So I just was talking to him a little before we even got started about how people, man, your will is different. His will is different. It takes will for him to be sitting even right here, right now. It took some will. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so that's inspiration to me. So get your inspiration where you get it from. Quit crying about your problems, because life is full of ups and downs.
And that's what you go get here on Dream Cultivation every first Monday of each month at 5 p.m. Keeping it real, raw, and relevant. Love God,
Peace,
love yourself, love family, love life, and love Africa. In that order.
Shout out to Jamie Rue, my partner in crime. And all of y'all, I love y'all. I love all of y'all that work with me and hold me down and make sure that I'm relevant and be ready to fight about me. I ain't got to fight about me. I'm a peaceful man. We gonna,
He's peaceful now.
I'm a peaceful man. I'm a peaceful man.
I am
ain't
too.
gotta fight about me, y'all.
Yeah. Be at peace with God, and young brothers and sisters, be at peace with yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Never quit and never forget.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing, y'all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, y'all, on the live. That's dope. I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube also.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I circulate it. I want to start crying. I'm just like. No, but I appreciate what people, because there's so much negativity in the world. So when people show you positivity, you got to respect it. You got to love it. Like I said, I got a friend that will throw parties and people ain't coming. Don't worry about who didn't come. Worry about the people who came. Maybe keep the ice cubes cold for the people that came. You know what I'm saying? Keep the wings hot and with and keep the buffalo wings coming for the people that came. Don't worry about the person that didn't come. So I appreciate the people that show me love, and I try to make sure I show them love in any way I can. Even the people that drive me crazy.
What would you tell the young people?
Man, life is full of ups and downs. I swear that's a motto. And that's the problem is when you don't understand that, so when you start going down, you think it's time to dive off, or you panic. And that'll cause, when you panic, that cause you to do things you wouldn't normally do. But if you understand it, it's gonna be some lulls. It's gonna be some calms before the storm. It's gonna be a deep breath before the plunge. It's gonna happen. And a lot of times, if you just keep a cool head, it's like when somebody's barking at you. Just think about people somebody barking at you, now you punch somebody in the mouth. Now he land over there, he hit his head on the concrete. Now you got a murder. Now you got a manslaughter. Now you got to go spend because somebody was making noise.
That's it.
He was making noise.
That's it.
Did he touch you?
Right.
So one thing I really want to tell them, they got to stop thinking just for that moment. And it's hard to do. It's something that's hard to do. I had to learn to do it myself. You got to stop thinking for that moment. You really do. You really do. If you stop thinking for the moment and start thinking more long term and start removing yourself from certain situations, don't involve yourself. You got to think before. Somebody always say, "Oh, what happened if no, I ain't gonna be there."
That's it.
What if you was at Diddy's party? No, I wasn't gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. No question. It wasn't gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
We thank you. Yeah.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
No Diddy. No, I'm just playing. But no.
All right. Later.
Okay.